acknowledge my companions for their greatness in what they do, and also appreciate them for coming to support New Breed Africa Foundation. I'd like to begin by asking you a question. How many of you have created something that is very, very powerful and very beautiful, but at the end of the day, you just feel exhausted and tired? Like, you create something nice, everybody is happy about it, but you go back to your room and it doesn't make sense because you are tired, you are weary, and And the unfortunate thing is that when you do that kind of creation, everybody is hoping and thinking that they are feeling like that, and the hope is that they want to feel like you because of what you have created. But unfortunately, you are not even feeling as good as they are trying to feel, which means that you are always dead after creating that. That means that everybody celebrates artists, but at the end of the day, nobody protects the artist, right? Nobody really cares how you feel, what happens to your life. And by that, the implication is that you have to take care of yourself, and nobody has to take care of you. Nobody. We only care about what you have created and how it makes us feel. So this session, like she said, is about sustainability, protecting your mind, and so that your art can live longer than trends. Most of what you create nowadays is about trends. Right? You create something that's very beautiful, it's on the internet, everybody dances to it in 1 week, 2 weeks, and it's gone. And when it's gone, nobody cares about it again. You have now to go start fighting to create another trend again so that you survive on it. Most times we hope that our art is going to make way for us, but that's a lie. Our art is not going to make way for us. We are going to make way for our art, right? If you expect your art to make way for you, because now, most times when you create something beautiful, you know that what you have created is going to open every door for you, it's going to just make things happen for you. But let's imagine God in that same position. He has created you like art, right? And then he sits there and thinking that it is because you are going to make way for him and make things happen for him. Ask yourselves, with all the weaknesses that you have, how is he going to survive it? So you are supposed to make way for your art, not your art making way for you, right? So once you have created something, it doesn't mean that it doesn't make you completely who you are, but it is just something that you have created to serve some people for a particular purpose. So don't sit back and relax because you have created something and thinking that it's going to make way for you. You are going to make way for your art. So mental health as a foundation for creative excellence. Creativity sometimes can survive in chaos, right? But it cannot be sustainable, so it cannot grow. Sometimes you go there in all the noise, in all the disorder, you still succeed to create something, right? It's good, it's beautiful, everybody celebrates. But guess what? The problem is that when you create like that, it is not going to be sustainable. Everybody is like, wow, it's beautiful, but it's going to lack a lot of depth. Why? Because there's a certain order you must follow to be able to create art, right? You must understand who you are and what you are creating the art for. You must understand the content and the form of the art very well. And you must know that you must have intellectual knowledge about what you are creating. It's not just about, oh, I'm talented, I can create this and then jump into the studio. At the end of the day, what you created is actually not you who even created it. Sometimes most things you create is actually the sound engineer who does all the work for you. And because a few lines run through your head, you went there and said, I want you to make a beat that sounds like this, and then you just put it together. And in your mind, you are convinced that you are the creator, but unfortunately, you are not even the creator. In that kind of chaos, you create something you think is good, but what you have created is not sustainable. It's just going to die. So, to be able to function properly, you need a certain degree of mental stability to do that. But then, what is mental health? Mental health is simply your state of being mental, physical, and sometimes even spiritual, because all of them are connected. But then, it is how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. That's the simplest way I can tell you what mental is. How you think, how you feel, and how you behave. And all of these things affect each other. How you think affects how you feel, right? If you think about something bad, it's going to make you feel sad, right? If you feel sad, you are going to start thinking about something bad, right? And then it's going to affect how you behave. For example, if I say that, as an artist, if I look at your piece of art and I'm saying this looks very useless, for example, right? The most probable thing you may think is that I'm a very bad artist, right? People don't appreciate my art, right? So you see, there's a trend of negative thoughts that come into your head, and it starts making you feel a certain way. You start feeling frustrated, you start feeling sad, and then if the feeling persists, you might get depressed just because somebody said that your art is useless. So you start seeing how what you think about information people give you starts affecting how you feel. And because it affects how you feel, it's going to start affecting how you behave. So maybe you are going to start expressing a lot of anger. You start pushing people away because you think that they don't appreciate your art. But for example, if somebody tells you that, and in your mind you say that, okay, that's just his opinion. After all, he's not a professional critic, so he doesn't master my art, so he can say whatever he says. So you see that your thought process is different. You have a different kind of thought. Now, you give it another perspective, and then you cannot feel bad, right? So however you're feeling is maintained, right? So now, what drives your behavior now is how you can help the person understand art, because you have perceived the person as somebody who doesn't understand art. So you are not sad about what he said, you are not angry. Now you are trying to show him empathy because you feel like, oh, I'm sorry you don't understand art, instead of fighting it. So that's just how mental health, what mental health is and how it affects our daily life, how we think, how we feel, and how we definitely behave. So mental health includes emotional stability, clarity, resilience, and self-awareness. A regulated mind produces more consistent and innovative work. So if your mind as an artist is not stable, if you are not well, it's very, very difficult for you to create, right? Now, sometimes you can even argue that I also create when I'm sad. But this is the problem, or create when I'm frustrated. This is the problem with that. What is going to be the quality of what you create when you're sad? And how is it going to affect those who are going to consume it? It is very important to think about that. For beginners, it will be difficult to understand because it's about what the eye sees or what the ears hear. But it's deeper than that, okay? Because now, for example, there are people that hear music, right? In your ears, it sound almost the same like any kind of music, but it's not any kind of music, because in terms of form or technically, it has a particular frequency that has been tuned to. And then, in terms of content, it also has high frequency content, which means that the value that has been put into the art is also good value, which means that I don't curse in the art, but I bless in the art. You get? So, for example, as a gospel artist, you might be creating from a place of sadness, depression, and you are singing, Jesus is my security, Jesus is my strength.